In Catch Me If You Can, designing a disobedient object to protest against GSM surveillance, I discussed the process of designing an object to protest against a specific surveillance device, the IMSI catcher. The IMSI catcher is a controversial object used to monitor GSM networks by mimicking the activity of a cell tower. Being widely used in protest, I developed a tactical approach based on obfuscation to be adopted collectively by demonstrators to counteract IMSI catchers. I take as the starting point the reconstitution process that I use to better understand the functioning of IMSI catchers, highlighting their limits and flaws. The issue I wanted to address was how to disrupt them in order to question their legitimacy. And as a researcher in the fields of art and design and as a designer, I wanted to do so through the conception and production of an object. I take as example the objects shown in the Victoria and Albert Museum exhibition created by Catherine Flood and David Grindon to explain the specific status of a disobedient object. The final artifact, called block balloon, consists in an inflatable cell tower with embedded electronics. The inflatable relates to the long history of inflatables in World War II as decoys, as well as in the USSR parades, and more recently in protests as shields against water cannons. The embedded hardware enables the use of obfuscation, a strategic approach to hide something from a surveillance system or to disrupt it. At the most basic level, obfuscation consists in hiding a true information or signal in a set of false ones. In the case of the block balloon, the obfuscation process is achieved through the following steps. First, prior to the demonstration, the operator needs to generate IMSIs and burn them to SIM cards. This can be done with programmable SIM cards, usually designed to operate within non-commercial low-cost GSM picocells. Alternatively, the operator can use anonymous SIM cards or pay-as-you-go SIM cards available in some countries. Second, the IMSI catcher or cell-side simulator embedded in the block balloon catches the phones of protesters in its scope. In this way, the phone's codes cannot be caught by another IMSI catcher, i.e. a law enforcement one. Third, each time a protester's IMSI is caught, the device handling the programmed SIM card substituted with an anonymous or a fake one. The embedded IMSI catcher uses filters so it doesn't catch fake IMSIs emitted by the system. Fourth, once they've become invisible on the network, the protesters receive a message informing them that they are under the protection of the block balloon. Fifth, while the block balloon accomplishes the same thing as having protesters turn their phone off, it still allows them to use other functionalities of the phone, such as taking pictures, filming, or communicating via Wi-Fi. The block balloon is supposed to act as a physical shield as well as an electromagnetic or Hertzian shield, protecting the demonstrators against GSM surveillance. The highly symbolic and transparent version of the inflatable cell tower is dedicated to be shown in exhibitions, but the block balloon was first thought as an anti-surveillance device embedded into ready-made inflatables in the shape of pink flamingos. The block balloon has never been tested in real conditions, and it is not possible to evaluate its level of protection at the moment. The block balloon incarnates a potential scenario against surveillance and unfolds a discursive space in which the contestational nature of the object gives the protesters the opportunity to demonstrate their opposition against surveillance.